Hello YouTubers, Robert28 1979. Yeah, the case is here. I got here in a few hours when the sun comes up, and when the wife and them go to church, I'm gonna get the pressure washer out and clean this one up. I've already got the Ford in here, got it tore down. I've got the electric clutch off, the hood. Already took the wiring loose, and finished to take the throttle and the choke loose on this one. Do a little prepping to get it ready to come off of here. I'm kind of hoping that it'll fit on that case and work. It's an awfully big motor for that case, going from that little 12 horse there to 18 horse. I'm hoping I may have to do something different with the exhaust. Siemens how the exhaust on this one came around, leftover went to the muffler up here on the top. Well, that one comes out and exhausts down the side, which it'll actually come over and exhaust right out here, and that ain't gonna work. So I'm gonna have to do some differences on it. So this might actually come off with stacks instead of exhaust. So, which I kind of hate to tear the Ford down like that, but you know, this one, like I said, the rear end still leaks on it, so which I'm sure it's got a little bit of, camera ain't gonna pick it up very well, but there's some oil drippage right there already. Like I said, the high-low selector rod right here on the side is right in there. It leaks pretty bad, so just parts for this are obsolete. I can't get the seals for the rear end anymore. We went with the next closest thing to what it was, which is a hell of a lot different. And as you can see, it's not sealing it, so I'll just take the heartbeat out of this one and put her in the case, because I'll use that case more than I will this one, because I'm going to build that 3-point hitch off of this one. I'm going to build it. I've got the blueprints and everything, so I'm going to make it, get it set up, get that to where it's all functioning, which I'll take the lift cylinder off of that one. I'm going to take the lift cylinder off this Ford and compare them, see which one's the longest one. I know the one on this Ford does not bleed down. The one on that case will bleed off. It needs to be rebuilt. So I'm going to take the lift cylinder off this Ford. Maybe I can make it work or whatever, and we'll go from there. But so you can see I already got some stuff loose on this thing, so I'm just hoping it'll fit. That's my only, and it is a Magnum. It's got the sticker right here, Kohler Magnum. So my previous video I said it was not a Magnum, and I was wrong. It is a Magnum. So that's about where I'm at. I gotta take the battery off, which is junk. It ain't no good. And then I think I'm gonna have to crawl underneath the Ford to get to that drive line, because this is hydrostatic drive, but it's a direct drive setup, so I gotta get underneath to get to it, which is a pain in the neck if I remember correctly. And get that disconnected, get all these wires unclipped off here. They're just wire tight. I gotta get those loose so I can pull this cable back here, and then the choke, the throttle, and then pull the motor mount bolts loose, and then see if I can heave this heavy sucker, which actually I'm not gonna pick it up by hand. A buddy of mine actually gave this to me. I'm gonna open my door so it's a little noisy, and this would be a perfect time to use this. It's actually made and designed to lift disabled people out of their bed, the ones who can't get themselves up. And I figured it'd work perfectly good for, you know, doing small engine removal and installs. It's kind of, I call it my mini cherry picker. Some of you might have seen this before, some of you might not have seen one. I think it's kind of nifty. Get in here in the light and I'll shut my door back down. It's kind of chilly outside. And that's it right there. It's I said that there's a tag on it, and I'll read it if it ain't fallen off yet. That just tells you how to operate the jack. Right here it's a Hoyer lifter, manufactured by Ted Hoyer Company, Oshkosh, Wisconsin. And that's all it's for, is to lift. You know, like I said, you got somebody you can't lift out of bed, and they're disabled. You hook a little harness around them and you lift them up, and you know, just like a regular jack, you just jack it up and you push it in, which it ain't gonna do it on its own, it ain't got no weight, but it'll come down. So I'm gonna use this as a mini cherry picker for these little small engines. Let's see how it works, and then I'll show you the other feature I like about it. It'll quit rolling around on me. It's got this little handle right here, which if you pull it back, put the foot on the wheel so it don't roll, and you turn it, these wheels in the front actually open up and spread and come back together. So I think this might actually work out pretty good for pulling these little small motors. But you can see here it ain't gonna fit that way. And I don't think it's gonna have much room to fit open. There went all my damn sockets. Oh well. So it's probably gonna have to go in from the side, which ain't no big deal. But I thought that was kind of cool. So my buddy had it, gave it to me, and you know, I got the big cherry picker over there. So he's like, well, I'll find a use for it somehow. And got to thinking about it, 'cause he's had it for over a year, sitting in the shop, and my kids play with it every time we go over there. Just never put two and two together until he said, here, get this out of here. And I'm going, you know, that might actually work good for lifting the little motors like that right there. So that's what it's going to be used for. And all on the pure simple basis, just I'm going to be lazy. So I ain't going to lie, I just don't want to lift that heavy motor up, and I got something to do it for me. So I'll get some video of that going. I'll have to give me some vice grips or something to hold this little bitty camera, since it don't have no spot anywhere to put on a tripod or any type of thing. So I'll get everything done, all the bolts out, disconnected, and then I'll turn the camera back on and get video of pulling this motor out. So I said I'm just hoping it'll fit in that case, and I'm going to have to do a little bit of rewiring when I put it in the case, because the original motor was a 17 horse Kohler that was in here, and it ran off of a coil, where this Magnum does not. It's all internal, and that's 12 horse over there has an external coil on it. So I'm going to have to do a little change arranging on this wiring on that case when I hook it up. So let's see how that goes, because I know in this case it's got the wires that run down to this little doohickey. It all plugs in. Now there's the plug where they cut the wires before, but I think that's just a voltage regulator there, where that's got internal, but I'm still going to hook it up to it so it'll all work, because the amperage gauge works on here just fine. And I wish this thing actually had an hour meter so I could tell how many hours this machine had on it, but it don't. So, but I can tell you this Ford, as in the previous video taking it, has, get it close up if it'll focus in, 5,117 hours on this little tractor. That averages out, I think last time I averaged it out and everything came up to like 100 and something hours a year put on it. So it was worked pretty hard the whole time, whoever owned it before I did. So, because I've had it for 3 years and I may have put 30 hours on it within a 3-year period. So But yes sir, it's going to be a good one. So we'll see how it all turns out. 'Cause I really don't want to have to modify that hood for this case or anything. And I don't think I will, but you know, of course, it's got the hole cut in the side of it there for the air breather for the old motor. And the other side's got the little kick out panel where the exhaust came through. So those are going to be different. They ain't going to be utilized for anything now, but I ain't going to do any kind of fabrication or alterations to this case hood. I'm going to keep it all just pure factory, just as it sits. The only alteration I'm going to have to do is going to be to this bracket here. You see the other side's narrow and skinny, and this side's fat, so I'm going to have to cut it down to match the other side. I already know that's going to happen. I'm going to have to figure out how to get this top piece. Probably have to cut it off, because it's going to have some clearance issues, I'm pretty sure, with this 18 horse. So which when this motor goes in the case, it's actually going to be turned opposite. This will be facing the back as where it faces this way on this motor, because like I showed in the other video of this one here, it actually has this Lovejoy that's set on here. And the other thing I'm going to end up having to do, which I don't want to and I don't like it, is this shaft here is only a stub shaft, where this one's a lot longer shaft. And in order for all this to fit and work like it's supposed to, I'm going to have to cut this shaft down. So it's going to be one of those where I'm going to, I guess, use my air cutter and pour a little bit of water as I go to kind of keep it cool so it don't ruin this seal. But if it does, that's fine, because I've got more of these seals up on the shelf. So it's no big deal there, but the least work I got to do to this, the better. Because the other thing I'm going to have to do is the oil drain tube here. I'm going to have to 90 it over either side and put this cap on the outside there to where when I drain the oil, it goes outside, not into the tractor. You got to crawl underneath and do a bunch of junk to get to it. So, but all these inner bolt holes here will be the same distance as that motor, with the actual cup filled over it and bolted into it. Slid over it, sorry. I'm a little tired. But this plate here, these 4 bolt holes in it will bolt right to them smaller holes. Hell, they might actually go in the outer bigger holes. I'm not sure. I have to look at that. These suckers are pretty far apart here, where those look closer together. Grab the tape measure and measure that real fast. But anyways, I do all this other stuff, guys. I'm gonna put the camera down for a little bit so I can get it all done. Like I said, I'll get a video of me pulling that motor out of there and everything, and then get y'all caught back up to speed tomorrow whenever I get through pressure washing that and try to get it set on there and see how that goes. So if you haven't subscribed, subscribe, rate my videos, comment if you like, and let's see how this project ends up. So until tomorrow, take it easy.